Hey, welcome back to Three Chords of the Truth. Hope everybody had a good summer. This is the first show that we've done since just before Memorial Day. Got over here Christian Dreschel at Master Control running all the stuff for us. We've had a couple bugaboos going on technically, which I guess everybody has lived through at one point or another. We've also, and again, I apologize because autocorrect was another thing that screwed me up tonight because I typed in the name of our guests, which is the Prestige Worldwide Band, and it typed in autocorrect Premier Worldwide Band, which I will be changing as soon as we're done with this. But again, I'm your host, Pete Kramer. Good to be back. We're going to be running this just before Thanksgiving. We'll take off for pretty much most of the good portion of the winter till right after Super Bowl, and then we're going to kick it back up again. But we got some really cool guests lined up this year. A couple different things that we haven't done before, which we're still trying to put together. But at this point, because we did run a little bit over because of the technical problems, I want to bring in my friends from, I'm going to make sure I say this right, the Prestige Worldwide Band. And we have, I believe, Sarah and Sean with us. Hi. You guys there?
Yes. We're here. Thanks for having us.
Cool. Glad you're here. Now, I guess you're a three-piece band. Is that right?
Yes. Yes. Okay. So we're a little different than everybody else. We have Sean plays guitar and bass kind of at the same time, and he does vocals. And then myself, I do vocals. And then we have Christopher Joel, who is our drummer, and he also adds vocals and also plays harmonica.
Yes.
So everybody tries to do a little bit of everything in this band.
How do you play guitar and bass at the same time?
I'm very fortunate to have the guitar that I have by Godin. It's actually split three ways. I play electric guitar, acoustic guitar, and technically bass all at the same time. I've been a bass player for a long time, but through some fun work with pedals and the right gear and some trickery with my audio equipment, I'm able to manipulate. And people have asked us multiple times, like, I hear a bass, but I don't see a bass. I'm like, and that's kind of our niche,
our calling card, yeah.
Is to be able to sound huge without, there's no amps on stage. Our stage volume is light, but
no
to make it sound
tracks,
big.
No backing vocals. Everything we do is 100% live, but it's just two musicians basically doing everything. And then I kind of direct traffic for them. That's kind of my goal.
Well, that was something I was going to ask because I did watch a couple of your videos, and I noticed there was another guy that was up there singing. I don't believe that was Chris. Chris is on the drums, right?
Yes. Yep. He sings from behind the kit. When we originally started out, basically every year this band evolves. We started as a duo, a two-piece with Sean and our old singer Paul. Then we added a drummer with Sean's brother Scott. So they were a trio. And then I came back into the fold and added the female vocal side to it. Paul had to retire. His kids are on travel leagues, very talented athletes. So Paul stepped away. Chris came in. We've worked with Michael Cuomo. He came in and did some vocals with us. Paul has been in and out. Sean McKenzie sits in every now and then. So we are technically a three-piece band, but we love to collaborate with other musicians on the scene.
Sure.
And can be like, hey, you know what? You can add some of this in, or we can sprinkle something in here. Why don't you come in and sit in with us and do this gig with us? Or, but now for the last 2 years, it's primarily been the three of us, Chris, Sean, and I doing everything. So we've kind of evolved. And if you see our videos, everyone is different because we have a two-piece, a three-piece, a four-piece, a five-piece.
I did notice that.
we like to be versatile and flexible too. It keeps everything fresh and interesting for us as well. So never jam and collaborate with anybody. We love doing that.
That takes me to another question because you said Chris plays drums and harmonica and sings.
Yes.
How the hell do you do all that?
He is one of the most gifted musicians, if not the most gifted musician I've had the pleasure of playing with. And I've been doing this since 94.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. He does solo work all the time as Christopher Joel acoustic, and he'll play guitar and by himself and sing 4 hours like a songbird. And then he jumps behind the kit. It was one of the best drummers I've ever played with in my life. And he's like, oh, by the way, I can play harmonica at the same time. And then I'll do backing vocals and I'll sing leads. I was like,
He does Tom Petty by himself, like the harmonica, the drums, and the vocals. And when he plays solo, he'll do the harmonica, the guitar, and the vocals.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
That is crazy.
We're very fortunate to
Yes.
like having two multi-instrumentalists in the band really is what helps create our sound, fills out.
Yeah.
Look, if you look at the video, you're just going to see a drum kit and a guitar, and what you hear is not going to make sense to what you see. But if you come and listen, it's Sean is really doing 2 or 3 things at the same time. Chris is doing 2 or 3 things at the same time, and I just get there and bask in it. Honestly, but I mean, we're really, really fortunate that the two of them are so talented and can do so many different things that it allows us to play and breathe and have that fun and spontaneity with everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, again, I'm just trying to wrap my head around everything that you just said to me, because, you know, being a musician, I know how difficult. I mean, I've seen guys play guitar and, you know, harmonica and sing, but to drum, play harmonica and sing, that blows me away.
And he does it all on this little cocktail kit that you could throw over your shoulder and walk into any gig with. It weighs nothing. It packs into nothing. It sets up in a tiny little space, and he can make that kit sound like the biggest kit I've ever played with. He's been a remarkable find. And his solo work is incredible. Christopher Joel acoustic, he does a lot of work. We're lucky and blessed to have him. And again, it's true to what we do. Sarah can sell herself short, but without her vocals, none of this works. Let's be honest. This girl can sing.
Thank you.
Her harmonies are incredible. But the fact that everybody can contribute something kind of helps us sound way bigger than what it looks like on paper.
Well, and it's funny too, because, you know, when Sarah, when you sent me that message this afternoon that Chris wasn't going to be able to be here tonight, I see, you know how you get those people you may know on Facebook?
Yes.
And I've seen Christopher Joel pop up several times. I did not know that was the Chris that you told me that had to go to his son's hockey game tonight, I think you said.
It was supposed to be last night, but with Monday Night Football, everything got day, and he was like, is that okay? Yes. Got to do what you got to do.
47-10. I will take a loss to lose Chris for one day for that kind of. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
I got to agree with that, man. So, okay, where did the name come from? Because that's a lot of words in one band name.
It is. So I've known Paul, as we know him as PJ, Paul Wineski, and he does sing with our Unplugged tribute band. We'll get to that later. So we still play music with him. But we were looking to start something, and we're big fans of the Step Brothers movie. And the fictitious band from that was the Prestige Worldwide Band. And it made sense.
The band name.
I'm not.
No, I got to stop you. I got to stop you for 1 second, because when we were emailing you the link to join us tonight, and I gave Chris your email address, and he says, "Man, that's a long email address. That sounds like something Will Ferrell made up."
It is. It is.
Now we get it. Now we understand.
But we wanted something that didn't pigeonhole us, but we do some, it's a little bit of comedy on stage too. We try to be very improvisational. Our set list, which is nice. And I think another reason why we kept this with as minimal instrumentation as I needed to is because we don't run a set list.
Right.
I don't know what I'm going to play. The first 3 songs every night is sound check. After that, Sarah calls them, the crowd calls them, people yell out. We know hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of songs in multiple genres. And we try not to pigeonhole ourselves in any one spot. And the name kind of itself to be, we can kind of do anything. We can say anything. We can have a laugh. We can have a giggle. People who get it, we've done Catalina wine mixers multiple times.
Oh, yes.
Them, we're there.
We've played Catalina wine mixers. They're a good time.
And if you don't get it, well, it's a name that doesn't necessarily stick you to one genre, because that's really not anything that we do. We try to we don't do a lot of classic rock, but we stick to 80s, 90s, and modern. But the name doesn't keep
it
us in
doesn't
any one
really mean
spot.
anything. It was a joke that we were like, that's funny. We should do that. We're just a little local. We do this for the fun of it and for the fun together with our friends. So being like, we're going to be Prestige worldwide. And it, honestly, we didn't expect to be here several years later, and it stuck.
I mean, it is the first word entertainment.
It is the first word of entertainment. So we love stupid, silly references like that. And
lots of 90s pop references.
Things very light and a good time.
And when did you all start?
We started in this band in 2015. I started the Buffalo music scene in 2004 in a country band with Sean. Our first band was Southbound, and we did all 90s, 2000s country at the time. But Sean had an original project he started in 94. So we've kind of been around the scene for a while doing different things. And we collab with the Fleetwood Mac Experience. They're the tribute band. We've gone on tour and played and sat in with those guys. We collab with some guys in Rochester that are really great. Blood Sugar, Sex Magic.
Yeah. And locally, I've played with a lot of great bands. I've played with Impact. We have a lot of good. I mean, the music community is really, when you get to the right people, and I don't mean that in any way to sound appreciating, but there's a really cool group of people out there that they'll come and see us. We'll go see them. I've played in your band. You've played in mine. We've all moved along. There's no hard feelings. Life is life, and we have a great time, and we make music. It's wonderful to get to do it. I'm shocked I'm still doing it 30 some odd years later. I started in a church with my dad playing upright bass and never thought I'd live here. And here we are. And so we're grateful every day to do it, but it's nice to have, and some of my closest friends in the world are musicians that I've met along the way and you connect with, and I could see some of them. If I don't see Jay from Impact for years, we get together, we are frickin' frack in 2 seconds. So it's just nice to have that kind of camaraderie with the people that we know and the talent that we've been lucky enough to do it. I don't know how I fell backwards into the people that I play with, but I'm grateful every day for it.
Then it's 8-9 years almost for this one.
For Prestige, yeah.
And like I said, it keeps evolving and changing, or we add new music, or we add another member, or we add, hey, let's bring in and sit in on this. Whatever the mood strikes is kind of what we feel like doing. So
you don't want to get stale.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
Yeah, it keeps it fresh and interesting for us too. And the way I run our set list is since we collab with so many people, we all know so many of the same songs.
Right.
So we'll say we do a lot of party rock. We do mostly 80s, 90s, 2000s, pop rock, party rock type of stuff. And I don't write down a normal set list. We'll go into the venue, kind of see what everybody's vibing to. We stick to the same 3 songs as our little sound check to open our set. And then if it's an older crowd, we'll start in the 80s or light 90s. If it's a younger crowd, I'll start with the 2000s and try to read and gauge what they want to hear and what they're interacting with.
Sure.
Let that take us in that direction. So it's our set list is based off of the crowd response and what they're enjoying.
It's very organic.
And we go with other bands and go see our friends, and we try to take note of what everybody's playing, and then we try to avoid
right
out of those same songs.
Right.
They're songs, but if we see 2 or 3 bands kind of starting to do the same couple of songs, we're gonna give you the same style, just maybe a couple different songs or a different version of it or a different instrumentation of it. So it's not the same old for the crowd either, and the bar owners and that kind of stuff, because taking into account everybody listens to it.
Yeah. So how do you do Wagon Wheel?
we do have 3-part harmony.
But we do. And I also put the lick of some Bare Naked Ladies in there. And I also go into another country song in the middle of it when we do it. So, I mean, there are a couple of staples that are just going to happen. But we do that when country's necessary. Obviously, we did Southbound. So if they want country, we can go way deeper into the well than we probably want to know we can.
Yeah.
But we try to stick to, if the crowd wants it, they do it. If not, we just
Or we'll like medley it.
Yeah.
So like we do a thing where we'll take as many songs as we know in the key of D. And the longest we've done that is we made it 17, 19 minutes. Yeah. And the shortest version was like 9.
Wow.
And Sean playing the same 3 chords, and whoever thinks of the next
it's the
song.
Same key.
Well, key, sorry.
Yeah.
But who thinks of the next song in that key and can find where to start, we jump in and add to the medley. And again, it keeps it fun for the crowd. It keeps it fun for us. It keeping us on our toes with one another too. So we
improvisational.
Very
improvisational.
I grew up in the theater circuit as a theater kid, so I did musical theater, community theater, and improv. So this is kind of my playhouse. It's
a melting pot of all those things.
Yeah.
My father's a professional magician, so I've been on stage since I was 2. She's been doing theater. Now we're into music, and we just kind of found a way to bring it all together so that when we go out and do a show, I'm not doing it for an ego. I'm not doing it because I have this, if I don't play, I'm going to die. Like, I love it. But what makes me happy is seeing people listen to music and dig it, and they laugh, and it should be funny. It should be an enjoyable experience, and it should always be something different. We make sure every one of our shows, we never repeat the same set list ever, because there isn't one. You could see us 3 times in the same weekend. You will never see 3 shows that are the same.
Well, if it's not fun, it's not worth doing.
Yeah,
right.
100% correct.
And I'll go back to something that you said before about the medleys, because I was, I think it was in July, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if you're familiar with the Dakota Brothers band.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all good friends of mine, but they asked me to come up and do a little bit of an acoustic thing at one of their breaks and stuff, which was kind of cool. But then they come back and they start playing this. I forget what it was, but they sandwiched in the theme song from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what the hell was that? How did you even think to put that in there? But that goes back to what you were saying before, Sean, because, it's the entertainment value.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And keeping people on their toes, and they don't know what to expect next. And that's really kind of cool.
Curveball, and like, I'll pull Eminem. I've done Dr. Dre. It just depends what the mood strikes. Yeah. We're gonna go there, but the well is deeper than you think. I'm gonna thing Dre, but I've done it and I enjoy it, and that's just reading the room and having fun with it. Like, and then you're exactly, this isn't fun. I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, this is not for money. This is not for pride. This is because I get to make music with some of it's my wife. Christopher Joel's one of my best friends. PJ Paul from Unplugged. It will be my friend that we're dead. So I get to make music with some of my greatest friends, and we're up there, and there could be 2 people or 5,000. Don't matter. We're having a good time, and people get sucked in because they want to see people having fun. And I'm just thankful people still care and want this old man on stage every now and then. I'll do it.
No, and something that you said earlier as well, and I have to agree, because Western New York has got so much talent. There's a lot of great players, singers, writers. There's a lot of, and I've had the luxury of meeting a lot of them from doing this. But there's people that I wouldn't have known if it wasn't for music, and I'm grateful for the music that brought us to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And having conversations just like what we're doing right now, because like I said, I've seen a few of your videos. I didn't know who you were before that. And I'm glad that I do now, because that's a really cool way to approach things, because like you said earlier as well, and I don't want to sound redundant, but yeah, there's a lot of bands that are doing the same stuff over and over again. And I like your approach to not do it that way.
Yeah.
And it's not a judgmental thing. Like, it's
no, not at all.
It's just keeping it.
We want to find our own lane, but I love every song we do. Like, because I'm not much of I don't play leads a lot. I'm one guy. I can only do so much.
Mm-hmm.
I love playing Miley Cyrus. I will play Taylor Swift. I'm a sucker for a 4-chord pop song. I love it. There is truly not one song on my set list is like, we'll do this one, and then we'll go. Like, I love that music. So but we also parry that to make sure that it's not music that I love, because there's stuff I listen to. Like, if I played a bunch of They Might Be Giants, people wouldn't know what I'm doing. not going to probably sell well. But the stuff that everything we do, we truly enjoy doing. And we also enjoy playing with music with each other. So it's, I just want to keep it from becoming a parody of itself. Like it's just, and we're constantly evolving. We add new music as often as we can, as quickly as we can. Something hits and it's popping, we're going to go. And if people dig it, great. If they don't like it and I love it, it's done. It's dead. Move along.
No, I get it. I was watching something the other day, and I'm sure you've heard the same thing. For years, people have been saying that "We Built This City" by Starship, the worst song ever. I'm sorry. I thought that was a really good song, and I might be the only person, but if you as the listener like it, guess what? That's all that matters.
Yeah.
It's the crowd response that, I love it, but if they dig it, like if I love a song and they don't, well, then I'm not doing it.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah.
Love a song more when it's something that people really enjoy.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for one-hit wonder 4-chord songs. Like I'm good to go. You're 3 chords in the truth. I'm about 4 chords in the truth. I got one a minor I shove in there. I'm not doing blues. But yeah, it's just about, and it should be a fun time. I just want people to leave with a smile on their face and if they had fun, then we did our job, and that's what we're supposed to do. That's all I'm there to do. I'm an entertainer. She's an entertainer. Everybody knows. And I'm just glad people get what we're doing. It took a while because the instrumentation is different. But once they hear it, I've got some really good feedback from some people I very, very respect in this industry. To be like, I don't know how you do what you do. I don't know why. You go, but it works, and don't change it. Yeah. Okay. Then I'm not adding. Like, don't add anybody. We're like, we could add. They're like, don't. Just do what you're doing. Like, this is something so unique. You would lose something if you expanded. And I was like, all right, then I'm gonna keep trucking. I'm glad you like it. I'm as humble as they come. I'm shocked I'm still here.
We strip it back as basically bare as you can, and it's as naked as honest as it's gonna be. It's acoustic with some distortion and a little low end, and it's either going to be correct or it's not. There's no room to hide behind effects, and there's no room to hide behind anything, really. It's
you Gorka know it, you Gorka know it. Just everybody knows, and you giggle.
And the best part about it
laugh
is
and you move through it.
You laugh and say, this is a live show. It's if I were going to be perfect, they would be paying me $10 million to be on stage. Since we're not doing that, I'm very happy to be here.
I know my and I stay right in it.
Yeah.
A man's got to know his limits, as Clint Eastwood says.
And we take the approach when we're out and doing our shows that we are here for the bar or the restaurant or the venue. We're hired to provide entertainment. It's not about us and our egos or whatever we need to fill. It's, hey, we're promoting this bar. We're promoting these drinks. We're promoting this menu. Coming in. The synergy of it. Yeah. It's more than just, hey, we're going to do a show. It's there's a really good diner we're playing, or really good food here, or this is an awesome stage or a very cool venue. So we try to pick places and businesses and work with people that it's an interesting venue to come to as well.
And we're very we've called us back and they keep doing it. So we found venues that get what we do, and if you get it, you get it. And if you don't, it's totally fine. Okay. There's a lot that don't. That's totally fine.
That's all right. Yeah.
But if you get it, it's going to be a fun ride.
But I like the fact that you said that you don't use backing tracks and loops and things like that, because, there's guys that do it and they do it very well. I enjoy the hell out of it.
For sure.
And there's other guys that, like me, bare bones as you can be. And it's just me, my guitar, a microphone, and an amp. I just plug it in and I go. But I as evidenced by the way that we started the show off with technological problems.
Yes.
I don't need anything else getting in my way, but I like your approach to that, because, again, it works for some folks, it doesn't for others.
Yeah. And
we don't judge people for doing it, because we have.
Oh, no.
Honestly, one of the best compliments I ever got, Disco Dave from Disco Duck came and saw us, and he's like, you guys are great, because they use tracks, they record their own, it's beautiful. It's like, you guys sound great. Like, what kind of tracks you using? Like, Dave, that was all live. He's like, no, I was like,
sweet.
God, it was really, we're doing this. He's like,
compliment of the century.
I was like, I'm not offended. That's one of the highest honors you can say is like, you're not using tracks and you sound like that. Like,
yeah.
Right. But some people use them to great effect. Our buddies in Tiny and everybody else, and they know how to do it. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But for us, because we are so improvisational, we jump around so much. There's no way, even if I wanted to track this, could I do it? And completely, I run analog everything, just so you know. Like my board, old Alan Heath, analog, and no digital. Easy, push a fader, she works. But because we jump so much.
He's also the sound engineer. So Sean is responsible for creating the sound at the board, and we run our own sound as we play too. So
I prefer to.
We keep everything really in-house.
But no, I know the people that do it to a great extent. But for us, it would never, even if I wanted to, I couldn't do it. But I like having that spontaneity to not have to be tied to a track.
To a set list too.
If I get a weird idea, I can just go there.
Yeah, analog is, I'm a lot of the recording that we've been doing recently is, it's all digital and stuff. And all of a sudden we got a problem that, we can't catch the drums, or we can't catch this, or everything is going through the guitar and the bass. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell happened to reel where you just push a button and it records?
We're overcomplicating. Just go back and simplify it.
I'm a simple man. I want real pedals on my board. I don't have anything. I want an analog board, real compressors and EQs. Something goes wrong, I can find the button.
Yeah.
Gilbert's an incredible sound engineer. Love him. Dave, and he runs all digital. I don't even know. He gives me the boards. Like, can you run? I'm like, honestly, I know music my whole life. I cannot. I'm done.
Yep. Yeah, it can be a daunting thing. It really can. It can be great, but there's a lot that can go wrong. When things were a lot simpler, it was a much easier lifestyle. I'm not gonna lie. So how do y'all know each other?
So this is my husband. We've been married 18 years this year. Yeah.
Congratulations. I did not know that either.
Yeah. We've been doing this the last 20 years. Together.
Okay.
And then it's funny because we grew up on the same street together, and his brother was friends with my brother. And so we kind of peripherally knew one another, but we really didn't know each other until our 20s. And Paul, our other singer with Unplugged, also now lives on the same street we all grew up on.
Crazy, but true.
So it's small town. Yeah. It's just stay with who you know, and that's.
Yeah, I did. Me and my brother, he was a drummer with me in my original band, 94. He played with us in Southbound when Prestige needed one. So it's been a bit of a family affair for a long time. Mm-hmm. Scotty moved to the Keys, to Florida. So we found replacements. And then Christopher Joel, I've known him for 2 years. I feel like I've known him my whole life. Mm-hmm. He's not only an incredibly gifted musician, he's one of the nicest human beings I've ever met in my life. And I can say that for Matt and Stacy from the Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
These are people that will be my
Vicky,
friends.
Mike, Red Rain,
they're friends forever, and close friends. But we've kept it family, and everybody else would say they're adopted because they feel like family. Chris is family. PJ's family. Anybody who's ever come and gone from this band, it's your family for life. And
well, it's funny that that you mentioned that, because there's sometimes that you just hit it off with somebody, and like you said about your relationship with Chris. Okay, 2 years, but you feel like you've known him forever. There's a lot of people that I've known like that I've met the same way. And I think, Sarah, I just heard you mention Mike and Vicky from Red Rain.
Yep.
I'm texting Mike last night because I had a question. We didn't know each other before, until we started doing, this show and stuff like that. And, I've been to their shows, they've been to my show, and, they're just great people, nice folks.
It's just nice to meet talented, honest musicians. Like,
honest is the key word, because I'm sorry, you could be a marginal musician, and if you're honest, you're still cool. You could be really talented and be somebody that you don't want to be around.
Yep, 100%.
There's all kinds, and the good thing with the music scene is if you actually get out and go see other people, that's the first thing to really network and make those connections. Is Facebook is great because I can see something or see a band or send a friend request and note to self, go see these people, blah blah blah. But it's when you really do go and see them and meet them, and it's a really great community. So a lot of the people we know and have met have just been through years of going out and seeing live music, or knowing somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, and it's all that intertwining.
There's no competition. We're not all Loving one band doesn't mean you. That's what I can't understand. Like, we're all in the same game.
Yep.
Like, if don't be bitter, be better. That's all I could say. Like, and the ones that are great, they're playing awesome, and they're doing your own thing, and they all have their own style, and they all have their own vibe, and I dig it.
There's room for
And
everybody.
There's 1,000 places to play in this town. If you're so worried about somebody else or some award or something, you're in it for the wrong reasons, my friend. Like, this is just about making good music with my friends, and if you dig it, I thank you for coming, and I'm going to make sure that bar makes money, because I'm a businessman first.
That's well said.
Put dollars over the
Tip
till.
Tip the bar.
Keep them dancing. But I love it, and I get to do it with my friends. I couldn't be any more lucky.
Now, Sean, I got to tell you, man, I couldn't agree with you more. And I remember, God, this has got to be like 20 years ago. I forget the place. They're not around anymore, but I remember talking to the owner of the bar, and anybody that's watched this show before has probably heard me say this a bunch of times, but this bar owner told me, he says, you could be the goddamn Beatles, and if you don't sell beer for me, I got no use for you. So what you just said, you're right. I mean, yeah, you want to get paid, but you want to make them money so that they'll have you back. And it's a synergistic thing where you just keep on moving back and forth. It's got to be good for you, and it's got to be good for them.
And that also kind of helps keep the ego in check. Like,
absolutely.
We're all playing the same venues. We all work with the same people. We're all doing the same thing.
There are no egos in this. We're a bunch of idiots.
That's kind of how we were. Just like, this is fun.
I am thankful every day. I do get compliments. Hard to take because I don't get it, because there are musicians I think are way better than me, but I love what's happening out there. I'm happy that people like what we do, and it's just grateful it just keeps coming. She works her tail off to keep things moving, and she just yells at me and tells me what to learn. Hey, son. I get a text like, we're doing these 3 songs. Like, okay, and I'll have them ready by Saturday, and we go do them and see what happens.
Yeah, we really, honestly, we're not traditional band in any sense. What we do should not work on paper. We don't rehearse outside of like us, because schedules with Chris's kids and teams and his solo work and his other band and then our tribute band, it's tough to get everybody together. So we trust one another to learn our parts. We play things live for the first time all the time.
Not bad for never.
Not bad for never is kind of like our little joking motto. But again, it adds to the spontaneity, the enthusiasm. And it's nice then when you're working with people that you can trust to say, hey, you got that? Okay, we're good. We can roll with it. And try it. Because you really can't do that with every project, for sure.
Do you do any original stuff, or do you?
No, not with this project. Sean used to do originals.
I did it for a while, and I respect it, and I love people that do it. I had an original band with my brother, a little 3-piece, 9'd Out, way back in the day. Super fun out of high school, but
you have 1 or 2 albums?
Yeah, we did a couple albums, which, I mean, if it's nothing, that's not what I'm here to talk about, but like, it's cool. Did it. I got the t-shirt. I'm cool. Like,
checked it off
it was, I think every musician probably should go through that phase, because you need to do it. And the ones will pop. But if it doesn't pop, it shouldn't stop you, because we didn't hit the radio. And yet here we are 30 years later, and I'm still making music, which blows my mind to this day, that we're still doing it. Yeah. So at the end, but try it, experiment. My son's a heck of a drummer. We've used him a few times. He sat in with him. Shannon's amazing. Another family, keep it in the circle. A kid I can call with moments notice, and he'll show up and show out. He can play lights out in the kit without a question. My grandfather was a big bad drummer, so I guess we got some music in the family. But it's nice to keep it in that family because it feels right. But yeah, no, I'm very lucky.
Cool. Well, at this point, we're getting close on time. So is there anything else that you would like to, put out to
Transit Music October.
Upcoming dates?
Yeah, you can find us at prestigeworldwideband.com. In October, we'll be at Transit Music Lounge, the Diamond Hawk for the first time. We'll be back at the Hard Rock Cafe for the Halloween party, hosting their Halloween event. So that's a adult costume party themed.
Okay.
Spooky kettle and wine mixer is what we like to call that one. and our tribute band is Unplugged Tribute Band, and it's a tribute to the MTV Unplugged series. And we'll be playing Buffalo Ironworks December 6th.
Yes.
And we'll be doing the Stone Temple Pilots MTV Unplugged with a tribute to Purple. And then I will be singing an unplugged tribute to Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill.
Cool. Yeah, I saw you did an Alanis Morissette song on your YouTube page.
Yes.
And she's good at everything. She really.
So we have, in addition to Prestige, Unplugged is coming back online. We're doing that. And we'll be playing October 5th with Dreams Illuminated at Shea 710. That's going to be a Stevie Nicks tribute night with
Nice.
of the Fleetwood Mac Experience, Songbirds, and then us.
Yeah.
So
we've got
it's a 9 or
and,
10 piece.
Again, collaboration. See, 3
Yeah.
different. All getting having a good time.
That's really cool. That's very cool. Well, look, you've been very generous with your time, and I thank you so much. And I'm glad I got to know you. I'll be probably Transit Music Lounge is not very far from me, so I'm going to try to make that date.
Oh,
We love
the
it.
food there is incredible. You will not be bad. If you don't like us, you'll like the food. You'll be golden.
Well, I have to agree. I've eaten there a few times, so I know what you're talking about, man.
Well, thank you so much for having us and for the time and the technical glitch at the beginning.
Well, yeah, that was, on my end as well, because we had a couple other problems, and I still have to go back in and fix your name in the morning. But
I'm going to work on a laptop, apparently.
right. Well, that might help too. But no, thanks again so much, and it's been great talking to you. Again, we had Sarah and Sean, which I did not know was a husband and wife team before, from the Prestige Worldwide Band, and next week we've got Lana from Black Widow going to be with us, so that should be kind of cool, and a few other things coming up. So again, to Sarah and Sean, Chris, wish you could have been here, man. Would like to have talked to you as well, but for this first episode for the fourth season, I can't believe we're doing the fourth season already, Chris, but this is kind of cool. So thanks to you guys for joining us, and next week we'll see you at the same bad time, same bad channel. Peace out. Okay, we're